YouTube, this is Joey, and today I'm bringing you a Gusto deck profile. Shout out to my roommate Gus. This isn't mine, this is his, but he wanted me to profile it, or well, he wanted it profiled, and he's not here to do it. So I'm going to run through it real quick. I'm going to say straight up, I don't really know a whole lot about the deck. I played it a little, but I'm not an expert, so if I say something stupid, just correct me in the comments and I'll learn a little bit about it. But anyway, we'll start off with the main deck. We're going to have 3 Gusto Goldo. This is kind of the heart and soul of your engine. You need 3 of these. Whenever it's sent to the graveyard, you special another from deck. This whole deck pretty much floats, which is really annoying playing against it, but it's really good when you're playing it. But this is your main guy. He's a tuner, level 3. Him and Pilica is what you're going to mix freeze with most of the time, which is still a really good card. And I'll get into that later. But 3 Goldo is necessary. He's your best floater because it's whenever he's sent to the graveyard, while the others have to be destroyed by battle. But 3 Goldo, he's the best. Next we have 3 Eagle. Eagle is also a tuner, it's 1 star, so you can make a lot of different things with him. He's really versatile. When he's destroyed by battle, you can special summon a level 4 lower Gusto non-tuner. So he'll get you like Cam or Musto or Pilica, which is really good. And you need 3 of him too. It kind of sucks when they stop attacking you because they realize you're playing Gustos. But once you get their, if you get their effects off and you can make some stuff, you can just start ramming these. And it's really funny when you poke them while you have freeze on them. So 3 Eagle. Next we have 3 Winda. Same thing when she's destroyed by battle, special 1 from deck. The only thing that kind of sucks with her is when you can't ram her because it says when destroyed by battle with an attacking monster. So you can't just ram her and special another one while you have freeze, which kind of sucks, but it's still necessary to play 3 of this because you don't really have a whole lot of good Gustos, and the ones you have, they're your best ones you have to max out on. So 3 of her. Next, 2 Cam. Cam, I love and hate. It's good, but it's bad in multiples. You don't want to be drawing to both of these, so I don't really like 3. I don't really know how I haven't tested 3. Like I said, this isn't my deck. I don't know how 3 works, but I know you need at least 2 because drawing cards is good. But like starting off when you don't have a graveyard to put stuff back to draw the cards, this is really dead. So I can see why you'd only play 2, but it's still a really powerful card, and it's a 4, which you don't have a lot of high levels in here. So having a couple of monsters that have higher levels help you get to your synchros when you have a lot of 1s and 2s and things like that. Anyway, moving on, we have 2 Pilica. This is the new thing. Well, it's not new anymore, but it's the newest. This is a really powerful card, but it's kind of like Cam to where it's cloggy at 3. Basically, when this is summoned, normal or special, you can get a Goldos or an Eagle out of your graveyard. Well, it's really just, it's a Gusto tuner, but you're going to get a Goldo most of the time. And then its effects are negated, and you can only special summon wind monsters, but most of the time you're going to summon this, get the Goldo out, make it freeze, add this back, and then you can do the same thing next turn, which is one of the more basic power plays. So 2 Pilica, I really like it. It's a really good card. We have 1 of Musto. Musto's okay. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of good Gustos. A lot of them are kind of bad. But I like this guy at 1 just because he's 18, big body, and his effects are okay. You can negate effects. Like if they have a Felgrand or something, you can negate it, and then Miracle Synchro Fusion away, and then kill it. And stuff like that, where you just don't have to deal with the Felgrand. But he's really good at 1. I don't really like him enough to bump him up, but it's nice to have a beater. It's not Cam. I guess this would take place at the 3rd Cam, just as a beater. So 1 of him, and then the final Gusto is 1 Kamui. It's kind of like the window where when it's destroyed by battle, but it's flip face up, which is pretty much the same thing. It specials from deck, so when they run this over, it gets the thing. But it's not as good as the other ones because it has to be flipped, and 1's okay. It's not the greatest, but I like 1 just the way it is, so 1 of her. And then the final monster is a Mist Valley Soldier. This is a really useful card. It's a tuner. It's 1700. Its effect's good where you can bounce stuff. When you have like after your opponent goes through all your stuff and you have a non-tuner on board, you can just summon this and make something. and then when you don't, you can use its effect. But I like this as an additional tuner, and it's, like I said, it's 4 stars, and when you have a bunch of lower level monsters, it's good to have bigger tuners and bigger monsters in general, so you can sync up. That's it for the monsters. Onto the spells. This is personally my favorite card in the deck, Miracle Synchro Fusion. What this does is you banish a Psychic type Synchro and Psychic type monster from your grave, and special summon Ultimate Axon Kicker. I mean, I guess you could summon other stuff, but there's no reason to, because you can make an Ultimate Axon Kicker, which is a fantastic card I'll get into later. But also, if you open like, I play 3 because it's never cloggy, because you can still set it, and if it gets destroyed, you can draw a card, which is really nice. Plus, Axon Kicker is such a good card that just drawing this card and making it for nothing is fantastic. So I play 3 because I really want to see this card, and it's just really powerful. So 3 is a good number. I mean, I might consider cutting it down, but like I said, this isn't my deck, and I like 3 personally. So 3 Miracle Synchro Fusion makes your pushes a lot better when you can get on an Axon Kicker. Onto the more staple-y stuff. 3 MSTs, because MST is necessary at 3 in this format. Not really much more to be said. 3 Upstart, 37 is better than 40. Simple as that. We have 2 E-Tellies. This card's fantastic when you have like Goldos and a Goldo engraved. You can just play this, get the Pilica, get the Goldo, make a thing. It's really powerful. 3 is cloggy, but 2 is a really good number. Get the Pilicas out. It just gets your plays going when you have this, because almost all the time you're gonna have a Goldo engraved because your stuff dies really quickly. So 2 E-Tellies is really good. Sorry they're not first ed. I've been on and Gus about that, but they're really expensive. But the Ulti E-Telly is really pretty, so I'm not gonna complain too much. Onto the staples. Raigeki, because it's Raigeki. Soul Charge, because it's Soul Charge. And Snatch Steal, because it's Snatch Steal. I mean, I'm going to play these in everything, regardless of destroying monsters is bad or not. Raigeki's still a really powerful card. Snatch Steal is amazing. I've already shared my thoughts on that. And Soul Charge is Soul Charge. None of these really need explaining. That's it for the spells. Onto the traps. We have your Staple 4, Bottomless Compulse, Warning, and Torrential. Just staples. I don't really need to explain those either. 2 Breakthrough. Monster effects are huge. Being able to stop them is great, and it's a breakthrough. I mean, again, just pretty much staple traps at this point. Lots, and then we're gonna play some battle traps. 2D Prison, because you don't always want your stuff to be destroyed. You want to protect your synchros when you make them, and a lot of your synchros aren't gonna have a whole lot of attacks, especially when you're making the lower level ones. So 2D Prison, because it's the best battle trap, and then the last 2 cards are 2 Mirror Force. Put these in because they're shiny. Well, not really. No one really expects Mirror Force anymore, and since this is kind of a fun deck, I figured I'd throw them in, just catch people off guard with it. Plus, it's not a bad card. I just personally don't think it's very good in a lot of decks, but because this is just a fun deck, it can clear boards. I really think it's fun to play, so 2 Mirror Force. So for the main deck, it's 40 cards, of course. We're playing Upstart. Mono Synchros, 2 Daigusto Goldos. This is a guy you're going to make a lot of. You don't always make the second, but most of the time you make the first, and sometimes you need the second. So 2 is a necessary number. Plus he's a Psychic, so you can banish with Miracle Synchro Fusion to get Axon Kicker out. But it's just a really good card to remove stuff, recharge your deck in general. So this is just a really good synchro you can make. The only other 5 is an Armades, because it's Armades. I mean, it's best 5. On 6s, the generic we're playing is a Goyo, because I really like Goyo, and just taking your opponent's stuff when you're playing tuners is really great. So, Goyo. Alright, now this is probably not standard at all. 3 Daigustos Freeze. This card is hilarious. When you can make this and just start poking them with eagles and they take all the damage, is really fun. Plus, when you make this, you can loop this. When you use Pilica to summon Goldos from grave, you can summon this. This will add back the Pilica, and then you can just do the same thing next turn if they kill it. Plus, it can't be destroyed by battle, obviously. Well, not obviously, but it's really just a good card. It's full effect reads that when it can't be destroyed by battle, and then when a Gusto monster does battle with an opponent's monster, they take the damage. So it's just a really solid card. Since you can loop it, I play 3. I don't know if 3 is necessary, but I really like it. So 3 of her. She's one of the main plays in the deck. 1 Eagles. I really don't like this card, to be honest. It's 26, which is okay. You can destroy stuff, sort of. Pops back row, but I mean you have to banish, and you want to keep all your stuff live in the graveyard of your deck so you can shuffle it back in. But I mean it's a 7. The only other 7 we play is Black Rose, of course. But this is just a 7 that you can make. It's all right. I would never play more than 1 because you don't make this a lot. But when you do, it's okay. I don't really like it too much, but it's also a psychic you can banish with Miracle Synchro Fusion, so that's always good. Like I said, the other 7's a Black Rose because it's Black Rose. Basic. We're on to some 8s. Stardust. Stardust is a good card. I mean, it's generic 8. It's the one I like the most when I'm making decks. I always try and find room for Stardust because it's always useful. So, Stardust in there. Another one is, another 8 is Thought Ruler Archfiend. Thought Ruler Archfiend is good by itself. In this deck, it's really good because your monsters are psychic, so it can protect them too, and they're targeted because of when a psychic monster is targeted by an effect. So he's really good for that. Plus he's 27, beats over stuff. He's a really good 8. And since you're playing a deck of psychics, he's really good for protecting them. Play a 9 and Hyper Psychic Blaster. It's an alright card when you make it. If you make it in the right situation, it's really good. But it's not something you make a whole lot. But I just like it because it's a 9. It's 3k, beat over stuff. Plus there's not a lot of really good 9s. And you can make it sometimes, and it's got an okay effect. So 1 Hyper Psychic Blaster. Last Synchro is 1 Leo. I don't really like Star Eater right now because it just dies a lot for all the effort that goes into making it, and Leo is far better in my opinion. So, I mean, they're not the same level, but they're basically the same thing. One's a 10, one's 11, in the fact that they're your high-level synchros. So 1 Leo is really good. And then the final monsters in our extra deck are 2 Ultimate Axon Kickers. This card is fantastic. I'll go ahead and read it to you. It says, this monster can only be special summoned by fusion summon from the extra deck. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So already, you're getting a 29 beater, can't be destroyed by card effects. Okay, that's really great. So then it says, during battle between this attacking card and defense position monster whose defense is lower than the attack of this card, inflict piercing damage. It does piercing. Okay, and then when you destroy opponent's monster by battle with it, and then you gain life points equal to destroy monster's attack. So, all around, this is a fantastic card, and if you can make it, it's great. It helps win games. The only thing that sucks is it has 1700 defense, and when I'd always used to play Gus with his Gustos, Maestro beats over this because you can flip it face down and attack over with Maestro, which kind of sucks, but no one's really playing Maestro anymore. So, anyway, this is just a really solid card. It's great that you can play it, and with 3 Miracle Synchro Fusions, you're going to probably make at least 1 every game, and the second one often enough to warrant playing it. So these are really powerful cards, not really expected. They're really solid. So that's all for the deck. I'm not really an expert like that, like I said, numerous times, I guess. So if you have any advice or tips or any comments in general, just let me know down below in the comments.
If you like the content that you just saw, you can click over here on all these other links and check out the rest of our channel.
And if you liked our stuff, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and tell us what you thought in the comments below.